The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. For the best in below-the-waist grooming, visit manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for 20% off. That is manscaped.com.
One was etched with his daughter's name on it. I was like, I'm not opening the etched bottle. Like, is this for show? I don't know. So I said, this is my first time. He said, oh, you want the beginner's one?
Wait, that's it. That's
like
a hack.
Bob's
If you don't want
Select
somebody to drink your booze, just etch it with a random name.
He legit.
That must be sentimental.
Armut. He legit collects bourbon. Like, he took me to his basement and showed me 50 bottles of unopened bourbon. I felt very pressured to open a bottle that could have been part of his collection. So anyway, I opened it. I said, should I drink it straight? Do I drink it on ice? He goes, well, you're a rookie, so drink it on ice. Probably, I don't know, probably the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life. But it's his house, so I have to finish it. So
yeah, that's gotten a lot of girls a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's his house, so we'll just finish it.
So, finish it, and it's...
Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studios. It's time for the No New Friends podcast. The podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. The good, the bad, and the funny.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on all of our social media, just head over to our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. From there, you can join our clubhouse, become a friend with benefits, and watch us as we record all of these episodes live. You can check out our sweet merch and so much more. We're also streaming live on Twitch every Wednesday night at about 8 o'clock and about 9:30ish. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, the queen of Starbucks, Mary. Everybody's favorite food truck critic, Sarah.
Hello.
Our producer, Alex.
Hey, how we doing?
And the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Psycho.
Yes.
Very good.
A bonus point if you say what year it came out on.
Oh, God.
Right around your birth year, actually.
Oh, I was
1979?
1960.
I was going to say 59, but I was close.
I was going to say 63. You would have been close, Mary. That great movie. They made 3 more, which were garbage. Psycho 2, 3,
I didn't know
and
they
4.
made. Wow.
They did. They were awful. They were very, very bad. So we have to start with a little bit of housekeeping. Okay. Now, our show is, No New Friends podcast, no topics off limits. Well, sometimes we, look, a lot of what we do is a bit, it's exaggerated. Some of it are just straight up lies. It's all, it's all made up. And so sometimes we take things a little bit too far and we don't take, people's feelings into consideration. So, we've been talking a lot about a certain choir that has spent some time in prison. And it dawned on me that that was a dark moment in American history that we've been making light of and may have offended some people. In fact, I know we offended some people by continuing to shed light on a dark moment in history and glorifying it. So, and then, also the message that I read on air was not intended to be read on air. And so I apologize for that. I shouldn't have done it. Sometimes we go for cheap laughs and, it's not okay when it hurts people's feelings and all that. So, I want to apologize. Up deep left center, Castellanos going home run, Castellanos. So anyway, just wanted to apologize to anybody that I may have offended in trying to be funny. So anyway,
I have no idea what's happening, but I feel like it's something because Chris is the color of a tomato right now, and I want no part of it. I am a nice person. I'm a nice girl. Okay.
Do you not know that? Were you not on the episode with the Castellanos? Jersey man? I don't know if she
No,
was.
I don't think so. And if I was, I just, wasn't, I don't know.
Anyway, go back and listen to that episode. So, but in all seriousness, I've got to do a better job of paying attention to what people are saying and not making light of national tragedies and all that good stuff.
Hitler said the same thing.
Yes.
Do a better job.
When did you turn this new leaf? Because I feel like you're willing to make fun of just about anyone.
Well, yeah, but it's more of the reading the comments that were not intended to be read. I think that's kind of where I crossed the line because
I'm asking is just honestly, I'm asking how I get an apology for when you upset me. Like I'm just trying to understand what I have to do to, I don't know. Let's just cut through it. That's what I want.
Moving on. So
wow.
did some day drinking today at Hollywood Studios. And let me tell you, day drinking in the middle of summer, I can't do it. I had to take a nap. I got home at about 5:30 and I had to take a nap until recording time. It's now 8:00. I'm miserable. It's hot as the devil's armpit out there. What, Mary?
Scott, we've had this. I feel like if we just replay like 15 other episodes, we've heard this song and dance so many times. You're like, I can't do it. I cannot day drink at the parks. And then somebody's like, you want to day drink at the parks? And you're like, I'm already here. It's weird. I'm on beer number 5. The potato cart's open.
Mary, it's the equivalent of saying, I'm never drinking again. Is pretty much what just happened.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
So did run into Sarah and Lewis out there today, which was a coordinated run into, we were texting each other where we were all day and we were always just missing each other. So like at the very last possible moment, we ran into each other in one of the gift shops.
I think you do it on purpose. I think you track Sarah's location and you play the cat and mouse game because you like to feel pursued. Like I feel like you want to feel like somebody's chasing after you. And you're like, here I am.
I kind of was going to the exact places he was leaving. So
I don't know. It just seems a little.
Scott, you're quite the predator.
It's not the first time he's heard it.
Like prey, like Sarah's like prey.
I had my kids with me.
Sarah,
Sarah's
you've
like
got
prey,
kids, right?
not like,
Stop. So speaking of being a predator and stalking people, so I find out that Chris's sister is in the park, and in my drunken stupor, this is a true story. I messaged him, and I think it was on the Discord, and I'm like, hey Chris, why don't you give me her number? I'm tired of just yelling your sister's name throughout the park. People are starting to give me weird looks.
It wasn't because of that, sir.
So we get off of Ryan. I checked my phone, and Chris actually did send me his sister's number. I'm like, I'm not going to text. I'm not going to text her. But in his mind, it's like content, right?
In his mind.
So I keep a lookout for her, but I've never seen Chris's sister in person. I've only seen her on Facebook. So.
Mind you, I'm up in New Jersey waiting for a text message from my sister. I did not tell her that I gave Scott her number. I'm waiting for a text message saying, why did you give Scott my number? Or why did you give some random person my number? Didn't get the text. So I was like, that's weird. That's unlike Scott to do something outlandish.
So the next series of events are super strange. So I hadn't had a cigarette all day. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, I think. And we got into the park at 8:30. So 8:30, 3:30, no cigarette. And everybody's hungry, including myself. And I've hit that sweet spot where now I could eat anything, including a gluten-free burger. I'll complain about it, but I will still devour that thing.
The worst.
This is Mary. This is remember when I thought it was a good idea to not only drink my milkshake, but to finish Darren's as well.
Oh my
and then
God.
continue to down a beer in the middle of the summer.
Scott, you were insufferable. You know what?
Milk was a bad choice.
Offended that I wasn't invited to come meet up with you guys, but honestly, maybe you saved me a little bit. I don't know.
Do you want to? I got into a fight with the Patels in the line for Smuggler's Run.
How do you know that was their last name, Scott?
They were Indian.
Wow. Okay, so let's just go back to that first apology tour that you just did. Like, let's take another lap real fast.
I would like to apologize to all of our listeners from India. You are not all scam artists who scam the lines and podcast promoters. I'd like to turn over a new leaf and accept all people as equals, okay? And there's another drive to deep right field. Castellanos with another home run.
I don't know what's happening right now, but it feels offensive. It feels offensive.
So anyway, I'm like, hey guys, why don't you go to Backlot Express and get some food? I'm going to go smoke a cigarette.
That sounds like Sarah and Lewis's house on a Thursday night.
That's funny. So I wander out of the park, okay, and I have not one but two cigarettes, chain smoke them, and they must be training new characters because there's a whole slew of characters that come up.
And you're just puffing them with secondhand smoke. You gotta break them in, kiddies. Like, what?
So when I took a picture with Tigger and Mr. Shmee and Liver Lips from the Country Bear Jamboree.
That's who you think it was, meanwhile. It's just you're too many cocktails deep.
It could have been the Patels. So I go back into the park and I devour my burger. Like they've been sitting there. They've picked out the table. Okay. It's almost like going to a magic show and you're like, okay, pick someone to shuffle the deck. Okay. Now you pick someone to cut the cards or whatever. This is what happened. So my sister is at a table with the kids and all that. I devour my burger. Well, they're ready to leave, but I'm not done eating. I go and I'm like, I'm not done eating. I'm going to go get some more food. So I go and I get a Cuban sandwich, sit back down. And then all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, first of all, there's a table right next to us where there's another woman sitting. And then all of a sudden, I look in my corner of my eye. Here comes Chris's sister. And I'm like, this is weird. So I call her name and I'm like, hey, I'm friends with Chris. And she's like, oh my gosh, Scott. And it was just so weird. So we took a picture, of course, so I could send it to Chris. But of all the places that we could eat, at all the times and all of the things that had to go right for the timing to work out perfectly. And Mary, we were sitting right. I mean, I could have reached out and put my arm on Chris's sister.
And I'm sure you did.
Like, stop it. I did take a picture.
She's a little too old. Yeah, she's got a college degree. She's way out of your, like, that's no offense. Yeah. I'm sure she's a lovely lady. Lovely
I hate everybody.
gal.
Anyway, I met Chris's sister.
How weird is that, though? Like, 1 in a million chance. So Scott calls me, says that, and I immediately went onto my online casino and lost $300 because I thought maybe this is, luck is in the air today. That's not. So
luck is in the air
for that. Probably didn't even happen. He probably just did that for content. No, Scott sent me this selfie of him and my sister, and Scott's eyes are like almost completely closed because it was halfway through the day. He's like,
that's how you know. If you can blindfold Scott with dental floss, you know that he's like a little too far gone.
I'm at my parents' house and my sister sends in the family group chat. She's like, yo, just hanging out with Scott. I was like, what? And then Scott sends me the selfie. And before that, Scott said, because I gave Scott my sister's number. Like he said, I thought that he was joking about, I just ran into her. Because I was explaining to my family, I said, I don't know if he's lying or not because he's probably pretty drunk right now. I said, he could tell you where every single place that serves beer is. I said, he knows exactly. I said, he knows exactly what queues he can bring his beer into because he knows where exactly the trash cans are to throw them away before the ride. And then
I feel a little triggered by this.
The selfie came in.
Yeah, because Sarah knows which queue lines you can bring your beer into and which ones you can't.
No, Sarah knows the amount of steps it takes, and she divides that by how many ounces of tequila is left in her cup when she gets a triple shot of liquor that is not chilled. Just, 97-degree tequila.
Yeah, in like 110-degree weather, too. It's awful.
It's refreshing, honestly.
It has to be done. It has to be done.
Somebody's got to do the Lord's work.
Oh, was that it, Chris? You like got interrupted. I think
I'm so sorry.
I did feel unsafe when I got the picture of you guys. I did tell my sister, I said, leave the park immediately. It's after 1:00. Please go to the nearest other Disney property.
I wasn't in my superhero outfit. I didn't have my fedora and my flowered shirt on, so everybody's safe.
I was like,
Actually,
yeah.
That's so funny because when we were trying to meet up with you, Lewis was like, just look for the fedora. Just look for the fedora. And I thought I saw you leave, and I'm like, no, there's no fedora. That's when I ran after, and I'm like, Scott, is that you?
It's fine.
All right. Are you guys ready for travels and tribulations?
Yeah.
Yes.
What shall it bring when the gentleman rings on travels and tribulations?
All right, let's see what's going on new with the sophisticated gentleman.
Hey there, NNF crew. I'm here at the airport, and normally this is where I'd go into the general part of my phone call. However, my phone call this week was going to involve me reading a list of phrases in front of the TSA security that could potentially get me in trouble. You see, the storyline was going to be that I needed a code phrase to get a secret ticket that I could then use to take a flight to find somebody who could make me into a knight for my quest. However, now that I'm standing in front of TSA security, I'm starting to think that's a bad idea. I don't want to get arrested, so instead I'm going to somewhat shift this segment. Now that you've been caught up with the story, let's talk about how I'm disguised. I'm actually disguised as an iconic comedian. So,
alright guys, now, Mark, I got a question to ask you, sir.
oh hey Remy.
Mark, you got 5 minutes. What do you want to talk about?
Well, first of all, I won't take up 5 minutes, don't worry. And secondly, I did want to discuss something from the last time that I was on the main show. Last time that I was on, Scott and Chris started to offer suggestions for dating online. After taking in some of these suggestions since I was on the show, I've actually gotten less matches. Which has gotten me to start thinking. Some folks have commented that I've started to appear more like Scott. Chris mentioned that he saw me wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a fedora at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Game Master Ryan mentioned that when I was hosting the main Sunday episode, I really started to sound like Scott, and that's starting to concern me a bit. I've been trying to think about my future, and if I look in the mirror in 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years, and I see Scott there, that'll be kind of scary. On the other hand, if I do start becoming and looking more like Scott, then I'll be gaining some weight. And you know what that means. That's right, I'll start to become like my favorite podcast.
We're funny, we're fat, and we're here 24/7 at blcpodcast.com.
After all, how cool would it be if I could be more like the Black Lincoln Collective podcast? I always knew that Lincoln was black. And hey, did you know that the Black Lincoln Collective podcast is coming on in August? Scott totally hasn't reminded us about that. Or about the fact that he is nominated for Best Local Radio Voice. I'm starting to think that I'm not becoming more like Scott. It's just that Scott says the same exact things every single week. It doesn't really make it that hard to remember the general things that are always said. On the other hand, when Scott says that he has the world's greatest memory, talking about Remy's punishment on Remy's Roundtable, it's interesting that he would claim that. Especially since he forgot to add my profile to the No New Friends website. And forgot to give me a time to play the Jeopardy game that I created for him back in March. Don't worry, Scott, though. I'm honestly not salty. After all, Chris really doesn't need any more sodium in his diet. Anyways, I'm not arrested by the TSA security, so that's a good sign. Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
On his back in a gaming chair.
So, funny story. I didn't get to talk about this on air. I did mean to write it down in my Germany trip notes, but there's just too much to talk about there. We were in the Munich airport coming back home, and my dad was looking for a bottle of bourbon for our neighbor. And I screamed out because it was in a bottle that was shaped like a grenade. And I screamed out to my dad, "Does it look like a grenade?" Like very loud in the airport.
Oh, you can't do that.
No. Gladly, we were in a German airport, and
it's fine there.
Yeah, it's fine. It's definitely fine.
Yeah.
So let me bring some context real quick before we go to break. So I was on Remy's Roundtable a couple weeks ago, and anytime he gives the wrong news story, or it's an incorrect news story, or he mispronounces a word, he gets strikes. And if he gets 3 strikes, then he has to spin the wheel of doom, or the wheel of fate, which has different punishments on there. So when I was on, his punishment was Small World, and all he had to do was listen to It's a Small World on repeat for the rest of the episode. And he did not do that. He failed to do that. So I said, okay, well, as a double punishment to fulfill your punishment, you need to live stream on Twitch for the next 2 hours after we're done recording, so that we can tell you are listening to It's a Small World for the next 2 hours. He did not do that. So the next week I had Sophisticated Gentleman remind him that now it's 4 hours. And I kept adding 2 hours. Well, now we're up to like 8 hours. And the thing is eventually he's going to owe me a month. So I said, okay, Remy, you can get out of all of these punishments with the following 2 things. One, I'm going to host an episode of Remy's Roundtable. I will be the captain, and you will have to sit back and let me do the show however I so see it. The second thing is you are now going to have to ride It's a Small World from rope drop to close one day while Game Master Ryan is there. So he's going to have to live stream it on Facebook at least once an hour. And then it'll be a day that we can all go, or everybody who wants to go. We'll do fun stuff, but someone will be in charge each hour of checking in on Remy to make sure that he's fulfilling the punishment.
I love that idea.
You love that idea because you're in New Jersey and you don't have to be one of the people that checks in on him.
I was kind of thinking it might be fun to check in on him. And Lewis hates It's a Small World, so it just kind of adds to the pleasure for me, you know?
I think it's cute.
I love it. Maybe you could punish him by he's got to ride for an hour with Remy.
Ride what?
And then they disappear to the family bathroom over there.
Small World is one of my triggers.
Well,
he's like, this world isn't small, baby. Why don't you come take a look?
It's because Chris auditioned to be one of the dolls in Small World and didn't get the part.
Yeah, because they have enough white ones.
Wow. Okay. DeMarcus Cousins, Rudy Gay, Brandon Jennings, Kobe Bryant, Chris Yob. What do all of these have in common? Find out after the break. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Hey, everybody. Why don't you give the old Black Lincoln Collective podcast a listen? We're funny, we're fat, and we're here 24/7 at blcpodcast.com. Anytime you want to listen, anywhere, all your favorite podcast apps. Of course, we have a YouTube channel where you can stream live with the show. Check out our shorts. We're funnier the less you hear of us. That's been a Black Lincoln Collective podcast at blcpodcast.com.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is,
Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF, as in no new friends, and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
Hi, this is Jeremy Miller from Growing Pains, and you're watching the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. Now, I know real quick, like last week, I told you guys that I had to take in my car. 2 weeks ago. It's been forever. So it's all covered under the factory recall. So I get a brand new engine. So I get a brand new car, pretty much. It's a brand new engine.
Oh, wow. Mary, wait, Scott, real quick. Mary, did you ask about the update?
No, I actually don't give a...
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it was someone. Scott, go on.
So anyway, the free engine, the free new car is going to cost me about $4,000 because I'm also getting the windows fixed. I had to get the brakes done.
Okay, let everybody. Let's just the windows. Wow.
Yes, I'm going to have working windows.
You know what? You know what I think is funny is that now you're getting working windows, but you know what you've had for like a year is one of those ladders in your library. That was a priority, but not operational windows in your car.
You can't even read, but you have to reach the top shelf.
Rachel really wanted a ladder.
And you know what? She said
library.
I could climb on it and you couldn't, so I'm still going to make fun of you about
you know
anything
what?
I can.
Like,
hold a grudge.
Is it like one of those bell moments?
No,
though?
it's not, because he won't let you.
Yeah, but at the same time,
Sarah, I'll let you get on there because you're smaller. You can get on there.
We probably are exactly the same size.
Unbelievable.
Sarah, you know what the ironic thing about this whole bell moment thing is? Like me, I could reach the top shelf. Like I didn't even need to get on the ladder to get the top shelf book. Like,
sorry, I didn't mean to laugh that hard. I'm so sorry.
It's decorative. It's a decorative ladder, Chris. So
okay.
Anyway, I will have working windows. My windows will no longer be broken. But speaking of broken, Chris, what's new with you, buddy?
Oh, broken besides my main sewer line. So, oh man, this whole week was a blur, Scott, and we will get into the broken aspect of it soon. But Emily went away for a bachelorette weekend for
that's right.
Yeah.
You were left to fend for yourself again.
I was alone. So she left Thursday.
I hope she learned her lesson based on the outcome of this trip away.
She left Thursday, right? And Thursday night was nice. I like being by myself. I like being independent, which is ironic given the ending of the story. I like doing things on my own. Like, it's just nice. This is the first time I've been in a whole house by myself, but Thursday night was fine. Not afraid of ghosts. Don't believe in them. We live in a safe neighborhood. There's no break-ins or anything yet. And I was doing great. I watched some Secret Invasion. I watched a little bit of Shazam, too. I wish I didn't, but I did. Had a little bit of whiskey. Held my nose when I drank it. Not very good. But yeah, it was fun. Me and the dog were just hanging out. And it's nice when Emily's away, my dog pretends to love me, which is just so cute. When she's around, she just doesn't want anything to do with me. When my wife is around anyway, my dog wants nothing to do with me, everything to do with my wife. So when my wife is away, hey, guess what? I'm the only one that could feed you, you little, you know what? I could call her a bitch because that's her actual like scientific name, right?
That's true.
Right? That's her not my dog, not my wife, my dog, Scott. You looked at me like I was talking about my wife. So anyway, so Thursday night was good. Friday night got a little lonely. Not gonna lie, got a little lonely. 2 glasses of whiskey on Friday. Again, held my nose for both glasses. Taste is just not great. Went to Walmart for 3 hours. That's how you know I was lonely, because I just literally got a shopping cart and walked around Walmart. Emily needed me to contact IKEA because something didn't come on Friday. I said I'll contact them, when I get home from Walmart. I'm just running out for a few things. And she contacted me a couple hours later. She goes, "Did you call IKEA yet?" I said, "No, I'm sorry. I'm still at Walmart. I'm still just walking the aisles." Got some candles and screws and stuff. And 3-hour Walmart trip. That's how lonely I was. Saturday was a different night. Saturday I was given the unique opportunity of the obligation of taking my dog to the groomer by myself. So did I go by myself? No. I called my mom. I said, "Hey, Mom, need your help." So I picked up my mom, took my dog to the groomer, which is about 40 minutes away. We'd go 40 minutes away because my dog is insane, and the only person that I trust with her is she just so happened to train my dog when she was a baby. So it took her 40 minutes away. Beautiful day. It was so nice out. It was I dropped my dog off at the groomer. Me and my mom, we go to this local flea market, walking around a bunch. And again, this is going to be relevant later in the story, but I had a great day walked a bunch that day. This was Saturday. Before we went to the grooming appointment, I had to pack all my stuff in a bag because I was sleeping over at my parents' house that night because my neighbor was having a graduation party for their youngest daughter, actually middle daughter, who's graduating high school. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pack my bags. I'm going to stay at my parents' house that night. Going to drink a little bit. Don't want to drive home. And I'll just stay there. And also, free breakfast, free dinner. It's like when you get an electricity bill, it's like, oh man, that's great. I've set I set my air conditioning to 89 degrees when I left. So that
Did you bring a bag and just stock up on extra essentials whilst you were there?
Mary, you don't even have to. I was like, hey, listen, I got half a pound of cheese left, and 2/4 of this salami. You want it? I was like, please, just throw it in a bag, please. So I go home with a gift bag. I visit my mom 7 days in a week.
A gift bag of a half a pound of cheese. Yeah, that's really what we're all hoping for.
I try to visit my parents. We've been gone a week, so that's what. No, I've been gone a little bit, maybe 9 days. I visited her at least 16 times. So I could get, like, you have enough toilet paper? I was like, no, please. And then, you just leave with goodies every time. So I go back to my parents' house and we go to this graduation party. Great time. They got a lot of different beer there. Not exotic beer, but I was like, let me just make this fun. Let me try one of each beer. So I had a Corona, I had a Medalla, I had a Bud Light Lime.
A what?
A Medalla.
Back it up.
It's Lewis would know. It's Puerto Rico's main beer, Medalla. So I had a Medalla. I had Bud Light Lime. It's real. Yeah, see, he's in shout.
Yeah. Medalla?
Yes. No, it's not. It's Puerto Rican. You're racist if you think Mexico.
Yeah, he drank a lot of that when we were there.
The same. So I had 4 beers, right? And then I go inside. He's got some bourbon in there. I never had bourbon before. So when I first got to the party, it wasn't open yet. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to open this thing. That's disrespectful. I'm not going to go into someone's house, open their bourbon. That is out for the guests. But listen, if you put drinks out, you got to open them because guests aren't going to open. That's disrespectful. So an hour goes by. Go ahead, Mary. What's your question?
Can you triple stamp a double stamp? If they disrespect you by not opening it, can't you disrespect them by also opening it?
Well, Mary, an hour went by, and I was like, listen, his name's Bob. It's my next name. Bob. I was like, Bob.
Bob, I'm thirsty.
I've never had bourbon before. Can you please open this? I said,
I wish somebody had bourbon, Bob. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not opening this. One was etched with his daughter's name on it. I was like, I'm not opening the etched bottle. Is this for show? I don't know. So I said, this is my first time. He said, oh, you want the beginner's one?
Wait, that's it. That's a hack. If you don't want somebody to drink your booze, just etch it with a random name. That must be sentimental.
Armut.
He legit collects bourbon. He took me to his basement and showed me 50 bottles of unopened bourbon. So I felt very pressured to open a bottle that could have been part of his collection. So anyway, I opened it. I said, should I drink it straight? Do I drink it on ice? He goes, well, you're a rookie, so drink it on ice. Probably I don't know, probably the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life, but it's his house, so I have to finish it. So
yeah, that's gotten a lot of girls a lot of times. Yeah. It's his house, so we'll just finish it.
So finish it, and it's. So I guess in Mary's words, I was just being a good little slut, and I finished the
Mary,
bourbon.
that may have been the funniest thing you've ever said on this podcast.
Thanks.
Mary's words, not mine. I did finish the bourbon, and
Y'all know, no lie. I don't mean to interrupt you, but Mike Reedy is in the middle of the kitchen with no pants on. Scott, do you want to see?
No, what? No, Chris is the one that wants to see.
One time Scott tried to look at a naked picture of Mike Reedy. It's fine. Just kidding. Go ahead.
For another podcast. I would love to break that down.
He is here, though, to make me a cocktail. It's fine. Continue on.
So this this graduation party was for an 18-year-old girl.
That makes this whole story way worse. Like,
so there's it was a family party. Family and neighbors were there, right? I've known her since she was born. She's a younger brother who is in high school still, and his cousins are in high school too, or their cousins. So they all get this basketball court and drag it out to. My parents live behind, in front of the backyard. There's a church back there. There's a big parking lot. So they drug the basketball net to the parking lot. So they were playing basketball, and they were playing with these balls that were like in the rain all year and like weathered and stuff.
And if you want to play with balls in the rain, and maybe you want them cleanly shaven, just visit manscaped.com. For the best in below the waist grooming, use promo code NNF to get your lawnmower 4.0 for just 20% off.
And never too wet for Manscaped, Scott. It is water resistant.
It is water resistant. It's got a little flashlight on it.
The wetter, the better, right?
Yes. You gotta. The barber always sprays those hairs before they trim them for a reason. So please,
it's at his house. You got to finish it.
So they bring this net back there, and I was like, I got to get him a good basketball. I knew I had one of my parents' shed that has been not in the elements, and so I went out there. I hopped the fence, went to my shed. I got the ball, pumped it up, and then I said to my mom, I said, I should go shoot some hoops with them. And she's like, you should. And mind you, I do want to also make this comment. My amazing sister that Scott met today was supposed to go to this party, but she was too stressed and overwhelmed with the move into the big apartment, and she didn't go. Mind you, this is next door, Scott. She could have went for an hour.
Hold on. I need to understand this. Your parents kicked all of you guys out at the same time? What are they going to do with all that free space?
Listen, I move out of the little mother-in-law suite and heard her boyfriend move in from the main house.
Yeah, they were in the main house. Spot.
They moved into the apartment. Yes,
and she was all overwhelmed. Couldn't walk next door.
Chris, I don't want to hear anything about you calling someone overwhelmed and anxiety or whatever, can't do anything.
I'd like to hear it. Chris, tell me how you're feeling about it. Tell me more about those feelings.
I will say, because guess what? I moved out a week ago. I used to see my sister almost every day. We're very close. So I was really looking forward to hanging out with her at this graduation party, having some drinks, talking, laughing. She didn't come.
Does she
did?
Drink bourbon or?
She would have. I would have made her.
Yeah.
So you know what happened, Mary? You know what happened?
What?
See, okay,
I'm ready.
Chris
Tell
says
us.
that it's cute. I say I would have made her drink the bourbon, and there's
he's
an
referring
investigation.
to a consenting adult. It's different.
Yeah, come on,
There's
Scott.
no
She's not a minor. She's my
involved.
sister. And we have some drinks and have some fun and have some laughs. You have malicious intent with
drinks and laughs.
So yes. So anyway, so if she was there, do you want to state this for the record?
Chris, that sounded like an invitation. Drinks and funs and laughs, okay?
If she was there to hang out, I would have never gone and played basketball.
So it's her fault.
Wow.
Oh, absolutely. That was the first thing I said. I said to my mom, I said, if Brittany was here, I wouldn't have been going back there. I would have been hanging out.
Yeah, this is her fault.
This is like Mary's son blaming his speeding ticket on Mary for having to pick up the kids.
This is the definition
actually
of a butterfly
not me,
effect.
but that's fine. I'm sure it was my fault at some point.
A butter flutters a butter. Oh my God. A butterfly flutters its wings in Kenya and makes a hurricane in Haiti. This is what happened. But lack of. Look it up. Don't look at me like that. Look up the butterfly effect. I'm not making this up for my own.
It's not really because of what you're saying. It's just how you're holding that busy and your legs are crossed. It's the carcasses of your meatball sandwich and fruit in the back. It has nothing to do with what you're saying. It's a lot more with the full visual we're all getting here.
Unrelated. I'm pretty sure that horrible storm they had in Haiti was because of a butterfly. Look it up though.
It's probably because your sister moved into an apartment.
So anyway, these young kids are going to play basketball. They're like, let me shoot some hoops. I haven't shot some hoops since like high school. Let me go over and listen. I was doing pretty good. So then it gets even worse. So
this had to be a Fisher Price net, like the little like kids.
It was regulation. It was regulation.
Lowered to dunking.
Youth. It was a youth regulation hoop.
It was regulation 6 foot, Scott. So
is that how tall they are?
There,
is that?
And they're like, they're way taller than me. Yeah,
regulation is 10 feet.
So
high? What?
Yeah. No, that's Sarah.
We got
tall, 10 feet tall.
I was going to say, this is where I chime in, but...
We have five individuals there, me and 4 others. And they're like, oh, you want to play 3-on-2? I was like, yeah, sure. So it's me and the next oldest person versus the 3 younger kids. And then the person of honor, my next door neighbor who's graduating high school, comes out in a dress and wedges. And keep this in mind when I tell the rest of the story. A dress and wedges. She's on my team. So now we're playing 3-on-3. First of all, we're killing them. I am dishing off these no-look assists like it's my job because I'm not shooting the ball and embarrassing myself. I did drain 1 3, happy to say, and then you know, this girl is scoring in wedges. Like I'm impressed, right? I started my right Achilles tendon started feeling a little tight. I was like, I'm out of shape. This is completely normal. I'm always tight when I'm when I running and doing stuff. Like my muscles always tighten up. my muscles always tighten up. My tendons always tighten up. I'm 28 years old. I'll be fine. So I'm covering this one kid. He goes to my left. I pivot off my right foot and I put pressure to chase him. And someone kicks me in the back of the leg, right in my Achilles tendon that was already tight. Kicks me like hard, right? So I get the ball. I start limping back to check the ball. And I can't, like, it's really hard for me to walk. It's like, all right, someone just kicked me back here. I felt like pins and needles. And I think I just got to walk this off because you get hit, you get hurt somewhere and just walk it off.
Dang, you're not a real millennial, but you sound like one. Like, just walk it off.
So,
put some tussin on it. It'll be
That's
fun.
Gen Xer. Millennials do not rub one off or
I rub
dirt
out.
on it. Or sorry, rub dirt on it. Millennials don't rub dirt
You're
on
right.
it. And
We
just keep
find
moving
someone
and
to
walk
rub it off for us. Continue on.
So I'm walking back. I check the ball and I try to walk forward. And when I put my foot down, it feels like the ground is still moving. Like I feel dizzy, but just in my foot. Like it was like a really weird feeling. And I tried to walk and I just couldn't.
So weird. I had the same feeling today when I was at Hollywood Studios.
So, just in my foot.
So I stop and I was like, guys, did someone kick me in the back of the leg? And they're like, no. But I never met a couple of these kids before. I was like, no, seriously, like I'm not mad. But if nobody kicked me in the back of the leg, I have to go to the hospital because I can't walk. And they're like, no, man, no one was behind you. So I just threw the ball to them. I was like, all right, guys, good game. I got to go.
Wait, so hold on. This whole time you thought somebody kicked you and somebody did?
Yes. The feeling was somebody kicked me in the back of the tendon. And as soon as they said no one kicked you, I was like, oh my gosh, I just tore my Achilles tendon. And so it turns out with these young kids.
You just assumed it was somebody else.
Mary, I'm
I
telling
love
you,
that.
I'm
You're
telling
like,
you.
somebody must have kicked me.
It felt like someone kicked the hell out of the back of my leg. And I mean, that's normal, playing basketball, people kick people's legs in basketball. And
yeah, that happens.
So,
yeah, man.
So, it turns out I was, I was trying to teach these kids because these kids are like, oh, they love Steph Curry and they love, all these young players. I'm trying to teach them who Kobe Bryant was. I did successfully by tearing my Achilles tendon, just like Kobe Bryant did.
See, I thought you were going to say get into a helicopter.
No, we already told you that was that joke did not land.
I'd like to apologize to the entire Bryant family for that off-color joke. I apologize greatly, and of course, it's not playing now.
It's funnier that you're trying to stretch it out so that you could get it to play, and then it didn't.
It's not playing.
No,
there it is. I'd like to apologize to the Bryant family. And there's a deep one to left field. Castellanos with another home run.
So now, mind you, did talk to you. I had 4 beers. I had some bourbon. I was pretty buzzed. I wasn't drunk, but I was buzzed. So I'm like, okay, I've really hurt myself. This doesn't hurt though. Like it doesn't really hurt. It's a little sore, but I just can't walk. So I'm hobbling back, and I hobble through the little yard, and I go through the fence, and I go up to my mom. I said, "Hey, Mom, just a heads up. I think you're gonna have to take me to the hospital because I think I tore my Achilles tendon." And everyone thought I was joking because I was not in any pain or anything. So then I hobbled home. I called Emily because she's on her bachelorette weekend. I called her. I said, "Hey, heads up! If you check my location, I'm at the hospital. It's because I am. Pretty sure I
I'm not just at Starbucks.
Pretty sure I just tore my Achilles tendon playing basketball with my neighbors. So turns out I went to the orthopedics today. Today is the 26th. I'm getting surgery on Monday, whatever date that is. Complete tear of my Achilles tendon just by playing pickup basketball. Stretch if you're 28 or older, please stretch before playing basketball.
That's your takeaway. I learned from this is stick to video games and don't do athletics. That's what's kept me from not getting any injuries ever.
You know, the reason why I didn't feel any pain is because the complete rupture, it just ruins the nerve ending. So there's just not any pain.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's why you felt the pins and needles instead.
They didn't even ask. Like, I got to the doctor. I got to the ortho today. He just felt my Achilles tendon. He didn't even order any MRIs. He goes, "Yep, this is torn. This is just completely torn." And then he said, "You have 2 options. You can we can put a boot on you, no surgery, but your foot will stay in this position forever." I was like, "Yeah, okay, let's just do the surgery, man. I don't think I can stand with a." I say, "Listen, if you just swim and bike for the rest of your life, you're fine. If you plan on walking or hiking or running, then I would probably get the surgery. I'm not going to tell you what to do."
What, they think you're a friggin' tadpole? You're just going to swim for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I guess you can't discriminate. Maybe I look like a swimmer. Yeah. Maybe my body is like the swimmer's body. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you look like Michael Phelps, 100%. Like, I can get the two confused on the street.
Sir, I can cannonball. That's about it.
Maybe Shamu the swimming whale.
Maybe that's what we thought. Like, this guy's big. Maybe he's got a gig in SeaWorld that I don't know about. I don't know. So
Blackfish, I like it.
So for
African
those listening,
American fish, Mary. African American fish.
Are you serious, Mary? Wow, it's Black History Month, I think. So anybody listening to this, I might not be on the podcast next week, and if I am on the podcast, I still won't be on the podcast next week. Someone else will be.
No, Chris, only Zool.
It will be narcotic Chris. I will be high on narcotics.
So pretty much Sarah every week.
She doesn't do narcotics. Wow.
Oh, whoa. Not. Yeah, that line is not crossed.
Look, I always tell my kids, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And that's what the line is crossed at felonies and narcotics. You know, that's...
Now, you know what?
Words to live by.
My biggest takeaway from this weekend, I suffered a torn Achilles tendon. LeBron James' son just had a heart attack.
Yeah, I've had one of those, man.
You see that?
See?
So I guess I have it a little better than a world-class athlete. I think.
I don't know. You know...
I'm looking at the glass half full, Mary. Please, let me be.
I don't know.
I can't drive for like the next 2 months.
I think that it's nice and commendable of what you're saying, but like I think it's okay to be like, I tore my Achilles tendon. Feel sorry for me. Woe is me. I mean, full stop.
I am getting a lot of VIP treatment. I got the little knee scooter, and people were like holding doors open for me and stuff. I feel like a hot woman.
Scott asked Rachel. She can tell us what that's like. Oh.
I feel like everyone on this podcast besides Scott.
Chris, I don't have a lot of sympathy for you right now. I think you need.
Oh, thank you, Scott.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. You don't have to do anything.
I said I might miss next week's episode.
Well, I'm not happy about that. And I did say that like nobody can do any strenuous activities or anything like that. No pregnancies, no strenuous activities, nothing.
I said I need surgery next week, and Scott goes,
that's exactly what I did. I'm going to tell you why I don't feel sorry for you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do any honey-do lists. You don't have to clean dishes.
Neither do you. I believe services. You're going to want to call it.
I have to do some stuff, and if I don't, then I get to hear about it. So
exist. You have to exist.
It's difficult. Anyway. It's very challenging.
Anyway, I'm sorry you've got a boo-boo on your ankle, Chris.
You're a dick.
Real quick, I would like to apologize to Chris Yob. And making the little boo-boo on his ankle comment up. There's a deep drive to center field and another home run by Castellanos.
Well, Scott, that's the only deep drive I'll be experiencing in the next 2 months. So thank you for that.
Because you can't drive.
Oh my God.
All right. I'm so sorry. All right, when we come back, we've got Jersey Man, Florida Man, and Mary's got a tale to tell us. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Hey, you want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon-exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to nonewfriendspodcast.com and hit join our clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
If you'd like to hear all of our episodes, all of our past episodes, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links to all of our old episodes are there. If you didn't understand an inside joke or just wanted to re-listen to something, just check it out. It's nonewfriendspodcast.com, or you can check us out on all streaming platforms.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hi, this is Bruce Valanche, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. Unless they look like Matt LeBlanc in the early days, he could be my friend.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. I don't have anything to tell you to vote for because that's over. Hopefully we'll get the results soon. Hopefully we won something. But are you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Whether flipping a fan boat or crashing a truck, these states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It is up to us to determine which one is which. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan, coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom, located this week at Chris's new house. Chris had a couple things around the house that he couldn't fix himself, like everything, so I figured I'd come over and give him a hand. I even got help today. Mary is here. Apparently she didn't have a final today. I swear final must be code for having to take a drug test for your parole officer. Mary, how you doing?
I'm okay.
That's good. Well, let's get to work. Well, looks like the movers are still here. Oh my God. That mover just hit Mary in the face with a box. Mary, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Well, you look a little like Chris Rock after the Oscars. Well, let's get you up and get into the backyard. Chris is back there trying to cut down some trees. Oh, there's Chris now. Oh, Jesus, that tree just hit Mary right in the face. Mary, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Oh, man, there's bees in the tree.
Jesus, help me.
Now the bees are stinging Mary's face. Mary, let's get you inside. God, your face is so swollen I can't tell you and Chris apart. Let's go downstairs. Chris was saying he's having some plumbing issues. Looks like we're going to have to go down into the sewer and find out what's clogging it. Oh, there's the problem. These pipes are made out of toilet paper rolls. I think they call those Oppenheimer pipes because they're ready to blow at any minute. Maybe that's not what they're called. I know they're named after somebody Jewish. Clearly because it's the cheapest way of doing it. I hear something around the corner. Oh my God, it's the Ninja Turtles. Are you the guys clogging the pipe? Mary, put down that hammer. These aren't hermit crabs. These are turtles. Oh man, Mary just took a nunchuck to the face. Mary, are you all right?
I'm okay.
Mary, how many fingers am I holding up?
8.
Well, I was only holding up one hand. You're so swollen, you look Asian. Scott would say that you're probably better at math now. And probably a worse driver. Maybe we can blame all this on allergic reaction. Well, I'll get married to the hospital. Let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man. And in our first story, a Burger King pays out $8 million to a man that falls in a bathroom. And in our second story, a man loses his foot to a train.
Oh. Okay. Mary, what are your thoughts?
I mean, clearly the foot to the train is Florida. It had to have happened on the Sunrail. I don't know if you remember that series, but the Queen of the Sunrail, I know what happened on my tracks. Yeah, the Burger King was Jersey. That had to have been up there.
Sarah?
I'm going to agree with Mary. I have no idea, but I truly think that the train has got to be Florida.
And Chris?
I'm going to go train New Jersey. I want to get ahead in this Jersey Man versus Florida Man competition that we've been doing. Because I don't keep track, but I know Sophisticated Gentleman does.
Yeah, I have no idea the score.
Yeah, so I'm going to go opposite to try to get ahead.
There's other things you can do to try to get ahead. Anyway,
train is a good way.
Stay in his house and finish.
Yeah, I'm at his house. I might as well finish. I have to. It's rude. Anyway, I think that I'm going to go the train Florida because we actually tried to have that guy on the podcast, but we couldn't.
We did. I think I was delayed on the train that one
Oh, you were.
day.
You
I'm
almost didn't
assuming.
make it to recording. I was real happy that night.
It's gotta be it.
All right, let's find out the answers.
So our first story is from Florida, where a Hollywood, Florida Burger King pays out $8 million to a man that fell in the bathroom. This Burger King has floors that are almost as slippery as Scott's house after he watches The Wizard of Oz with a fresh jar of petroleum jelly. So that means our second story is from New Jersey, where a man lost his foot after being struck by a train. The crushing weight of the train took his foot and ankle clean off. I know another guy whose ankle just gave away from the crushing weight of his own body. And in other news, an Oklahoma man said he was forced to cancel his family vacation after a couple of cups of coffee at Starbucks cost him almost $5,000 because of a tipping error.
Oh.
Mary has spent almost that much tipping her barista trying to get her phone number. That's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Carmen, call me.
We haven't heard from Carmen in a while.
Baby, come back. I have a story.
Oh, okay.
A Starbucks story that leads into a really awkward
Did you see her again?
nursing school clinical story. I tried.
So wait. This story involves your lesbian lover at Starbucks and nursing.
First of all, we don't have to put a label on anything. Soulmate is fine.
I know. Right?
Jesus.
Scott, you gonna be okay for this one?
I don't know.
Okay, what was I wearing? All right, and that's another story. Another story, actually.
This is fantastic.
Oh, don't get me fired up. Look, I love the fine university I attend, okay, but
on an unrelated note, I did get a new bottle of lotion.
Vaseline. Listen, so picture it, Lake Mary 2023. I started my psych rotations, right, for school, and you would think I know mental health pretty well because that's what I studied before. So I'm like, yeah, I know all this. I do not. I don't know mental health as like a nurse. I don't know that. And that's fine. It's a season of growth for me. It's okay. I did learn that typically at like clinical rotations, we wear scrubs, right? Not now. For psych, you wear
For nothing?
khakis and a polo.
Damn it.
I almost wore nothing, and I'll tell you why. You know who does not own khakis or
I wanna
did
go to that
not
hospital.
until 7 p.m. the night before clinicals? Me. Your girl Mary did not own any khakis. Why would I own khakis, right? But luckily, it's back to school time, so Target little girl section has lots of khakis. And
now you have plenty of pockets the next time you go to the theme parks.
No,
Honestly,
there's
I
not.
know the pain though. I really do.
They don't have enough pockets. And I'm going to tell you a few things that were an issue with buying pants out of the little girl section, okay? They have adjustable band waist, which means there's buttons inside the pants that drill into my freaking hip bones, okay?
I have the pants
It's
with
awful.
the adjustable button thing because I'm fat and I
But
need
also,
it.
I will say, Scott, you made a comment that I could not be on your sliding ladder earlier. You may be right. I am becoming a woman, okay? I think I may be about to size out of the little girl section. I bought a size 14.
We should throw a party.
And I reached under the seat in my car, and they don't use real buttons. They just use like the little snap things, and it unsnapped when I like pushed out and reached down. So I was like, oh my God, am I too big for these pants? They fit fine, but I thought maybe for a second I was going to be like No Pants Mary, like the fun girl in the psych ward. I don't know. They
Could
were
we
okay,
maybe
though.
be No Pants Mary on the podcast?
No, I have vieweries on right now. If you're looking for the best in athleisure.
They don't pay us. You don't need to. Mary, you know what's really funny? Rachel got me a couple Yuri shirts and like a sweatshirt.
They're wonderful, aren't they?
Yeah, but I opened the box and I was like, oh, Yuri, the best in athleisure.
Yeah,
just
it's
visit
the best
their
in
website.
athleisure. Just visit the website. Look, so it's fine. I got my pants. I got my life together, right? I had my khakis and my polo shirt, but my scrub jacket because I'm always cold, you know.
Did we switch moisturizers, facial moisturizers?
Yes.
Or are we done with that project?
I changed everything with my face. It's still a little puffy. It has not fully gone down yet. It was rough. It was a rough road. So anyways, I decide with my little cohort of friends, you know, there's only 3 of us, that we're going to meet at Dunkin' Donuts right by the hospital we're supposed to report to. I have such bad ADHD that I did not stray from my normal routine of Starbucks in the morning. My ass went and picked up Starbucks and then was like, okay, where am I meeting them? And realized I was meeting them at Dunkin' Donuts. So I already had a coffee and like rolled in with my Starbucks and was like, well, this is awkward. This is okay. Fun fact, our university has a lot of people there, and I guess the clinical director forgot we were coming. So there was about an hour where we didn't have an instructor, but it was fine. It was fine. We were just kicking it at the psych ward.
It's like a normal weekend for me.
Normal, yeah. Well, look, here's where it gets a little sketchy, right? So I get there.
I feel like this
and-
is Shutter Island. Like the end of this is going to be, turns out I wasn't a doctor. I was actually a patient.
Yeah, it's funny you make that joke, sir.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Spoiler alert.
As soon as we walk onto the unit, this one dude's like, hey, I just graduated medical school. And I was like, man, I am one inconvenience away from being right here with you, sir. Like, I am just one minor inconvenience away. Just lock me up. This is it. So I'm walking around, floating through the different units, and I look on the board because we have to do different like assignments, IPRs, like things on patients. And I'm looking at the board and I see this name that I really, really recognize over and over and over again. My psychiatrist is the attending doctor for this unit, guys. Like my legitimate psychiatrist. Fun fact, I've kind of not, like I skipped out on my last like 3 appointments.
Mary bumps into the resident psychiatrist and she immediately gets on the radio and calls security. Hey, I think
like,
patient 3B got out.
We got somebody quick, look that
we
way.
have a runner.
And so my clinical director is already the one that forgot, or didn't forget, but wasn't told and then showed up. Real character. This guy's hilarious. I'll send you guys a picture of him. Real fun dude. Realize we live 2 streets down from each other. BFFs now. We're looking at the stuff and he's like, Mary, you're making a funny face. And I was like, yeah, I just realized the attending is my psychiatrist. So it's fine. We're all going to go do group together. This should be fun. Like, I don't have to pay a copay. Wonderful. Where's the med cart? I'm just wondering for a friend. I don't know. Just asking. So that's fine. I did call my psychiatrist's office and make an appointment for tomorrow, though. And I'm going to be like, hey, I know I haven't been here for a while, but I realized that I could run into you at any time in the next few weeks. And I thought maybe I should get ahead of the curve here. Also, I don't want to be locked up with my own patients, so it's fine. Speaking to things that may lock me up, I just wanted to share really quickly with you guys a parenting fail. My anxiety can be like kick in sometimes. Like, I worry about like what people think about me, and I just want everybody to really like me. Have you ever been delivered a package that is not yours?
Well,
like, it's not yours. You get delivered a package.
You're gonna have to. Nick from Sandpiper Vacation tries to deliver his package. In that case,
and if you want your package to be received, you probably use Manscaped. No, I'm serious. Have you ever had a package delivered to your front door that was not yours?
I thought I didn't want it, but I ended up enjoying it.
What do you do with it?
I'll tell you what, Mary, funny you say that. The old owner of this house, there's a package of his in my foyer right now, and I have no idea what to do with it.
You bring it inside and you don't know what to do with it. So no, I was going to bring mine to the post office, do with your package? And just be like, not here or whatever. I was going to do that. I have 2 autistic children who see a package and think it's for them immediately. They saw a package. They opened it. Not only did they open it, but they like opened it like into the boxes. And I just hear what did you order butterflies for? And I was like, what is he? Oh,
they were live butterflies?
And there's just no, it was like a wind chime. It was something, but it was not
I thought
mine.
Maybe it was like the frozen butterflies that you do for like release.
But it was not only the outside of the package, but the inside of the box, like all of it just unwrapped. And I was questioned. Like, first of all, sir, if I'm going to order something, don't you question me, okay? But also, that wasn't ours. Like, what are you? And I like the panic. And I was like, okay, we're just gonna put this
because
all
that's
back.
a federal crime.
Not
Alex,
okay.
cut
So
that
look,
out.
don't, because I actually looked it up because I was that anxious about it. It's not. It's not a crime if it's a package like that. It goes back to the seller. It's not a crime if it's like a package that is to your address like that, like of goods. It's not a crime. If it were a piece of mail, like from a company, or like a bill or something, sure, maybe. But there's a lot of hoops you'd have to go through to like prove that. If it's a package, it goes back to the seller. Like, they can't just send you stuff and expect like payment or whatever is what it goes back to. Anyways, because I did
if it's
panic.
at a package at his house, you gotta finish it.
You gotta finish it. But listen, so I was like, oh my God, how did this happen? Like, oh my, what? I'm panicked, right? And then my greedy is like, there's nobody, this is not, like, this is our house. Like, this is, somebody probably just made a mistake. I'm sure, like, they corrected it on the front end. Like, nobody's even gonna know this happened. Wrong. The Ring doorbell camera picks up some random dude outside, and I'm like half asleep in bed, and Mike Reedy's at the movies with Dexter having a conversation with this dude, and the dude's like, hey, I'm just here because like we had a package delivered here, and they came to get their package. And they came to pick it up, and our kids had opened it. Our kids opened it, guys. And how do you say that? How do you not look like? They probably thought we were porch pirates, but it's our porch. So I don't know, man.
This is very simple. Our kids opened it thinking that it was our package.
Look,
I'm so sorry. Here you go.
Mike Reedy didn't know really all the details. He's like, I'm sure, like, my wife handled it. I don't like all. Yeah, if there's
handled it, like
yes,
what?
it's
Like
fine.
beat
like
the kids down?
No, I mean like if we had a package or whatever. And so he comes home, and I had already told him like part of the story, and he's like, well, I didn't want to admit to any of it if it was the wrong package, because who knows how many packages do they have that we don't know about? Like, we need to know which package this is. And so he like put it back into like a box. That's not what it came in. It did not come in a box. And put a note and was like, I'm really sorry. We have kids that think everything is theirs. And they opened it, and if it's missing parts, we're sorry. And I made him send it, like, take it over to him. Like, I'm sorry. Ugh.
The potential inappropriate innuendos that were said during this segment is killing me.
So bad.
Between messing with other people's packages and messing with other strangers' boxes.
Oh, it was bad. No, the best part is it's our neighbors. So like come Halloween time.
Yeah.
We can't go trick or treating over there. You know what I mean?
You're going to get a razor.
We can't be
in the
like,
apple.
hey, we would be lucky for that at this point. Don't put me in the psych ward, please. But I would welcome a razor in my apple. Like right now. I don't know.
Wow.
At this point.
That could be another innuendo. This is very.
It could be. It could be.
Listen.
That's where I went.
Of course you did.
You lived until you got a razor in your apple.
Anyways, yeah, so that was my day.
That's a long day. That's very stressful.
Lots of highs
day.
and lows, lots of coffee, some really weird pants.
And packages coming into your
strangers packages.
So many packages that I wasn't expecting, but you know what? It built character. And that's what's important. Here I
Gotcha.
am. Yeah.
Chris, you got any cliff notes?
I do. And for the Twitch stream watching right now, I hope you know that I was not texting on my phone this episode. I can't reach my keyboard, so I've been on my phone writing cliff notes. I look up and it looks like I'm so disinterested. I was on my phone.
Chris, put your elbows together and try to touch your belly button.
For those of you in chat, that is a lie. He's been texting me all night.
I did send one text to Scott.
Yep.
I would be lying if I didn't. I did send one text. I said, you look hot. Yeah, I said.
Yeah.
I said, that sure looks gay on you. Take it off.
Does say we say gay.
I know. That's exactly. Just take it off. Just take it off.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
So I had to do Cliff Notes tonight on my phone because I couldn't reach my keyboard laying here with my foot elevated.
You didn't have to explain it if you were going to put the explanation.
It was for the Twitch stream. It was for the Twitch stream. I wanted to make a little announcement because I was looking up at the webcam. It looks like on my phone and don't care about what's going on the podcast. I listen. So for the record, I do want to make it clear. I am using my phone for Cliff Notes, but I am also on my phone and I don't care what's going on the podcast.
Unbelievable.
So Scott started off the podcast by saying he was day drinking today, and in other news, water is wet.
Actually, there's a lot of controversy about that. Is water wet? I don't want to get into that.
You're really good at killing jokes. So we talked about how Scott is a great predator, being able to stalk people and stuff. Actually, in elementary school, he was named the child predator. And I think that's how he got his nickname to this day, I'm pretty sure. Scott made a discriminatory joke about an Indian family, calling them the Patels. Given Scott's predatory nature, I wouldn't stereotype him as a Patel. I would stereotype him more of a Patone ask and don't tell. That took so long to get out. I wrote that all as one word. It took like 3 different attempts to try to pronounce that.
I thought you were having a stroke too. I didn't know.
And don't tell.
It must be a complication of the Achilles tear.
The blood flows in my foot, not my brain tonight. Ryan talked about a man losing his foot in a train incident. And I said New Jersey because I just wanted to get ahead. I didn't say this because I had inside information. Unfortunately, I lost my foot playing basketball with teenagers, not running train, which would have been way more interesting and probably would have involved Nick from Sandpiper.
Also not teenagers. Leave the teenager part
not
out.
Teenagers,
There's
not
too
teenagers.
many teenagers. Scott, that's more of his forte,
Mary talked about how she likes buying clothes from the kids section. Surprisingly, she saw Scott there. She asked him why he was there, and he said, I thought all kids' clothes were half off this weekend.
Wow.
That was submitted by Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
Wow.
And lastly, Mary pronounces the word button as butt-ton, which I thought was weird.
Button.
It also, that actually triggers me, Mary, because I went to the doctor today. I got on the scale. I asked how much I weighed. He said a butt-ton. And those are my cliff notes.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
Thank you, Chris. Butt ton. I love that one. Yeah, Mary always emphasizes her T's.
Yeah.
All the time.
Term.
Yeah.
Button.
Yeah.
Wish more women would emphasize their T's.
Sometimes it's cute, sometimes it's not.
Sorry.
Hey, this is Alex from Diz His, along with
Chris from the No New... Wait, what is this an ad for?
This is an ad for Diz His on No New Friends.
Oh my God, I'm so out of place. So, yeah, we're on a Disney podcast, right, Alex?
Yeah, you and me now. We're doing a Disney podcast, Disney History, every week. On Tuesdays, it drops. Social media is Diz His Pod.
Yeah, if you ever need cleansing of the obscurities that you hear on this show, check us out on Diz His podcast, where we do something way more innocent.
And if you love Alex's segment, which is me, my history segment, then you'll love our full episode of Disney History.
Yeah, if you want a big load of Alex, listen to the Diz His podcast. You're going to love it. A little bit of me, a lot of Alex. It's like half and half, but a lot of Alex. A lot of Alex.
Whoa. There's a lot of you too. You also give up a big load yourself.
That's fair.
Chris, what's coming up on Diz His?
You know, before I get into what's coming up on Diz His, Mary, your story resonated with me because I too had an experience with what I thought was an unwanted package at my doorstep. I did just get this house last week. I've been getting mail from the prior owners, which is not really the case I'm talking about. I got a package.
When you say mail, do you mean MAIL or MALE?
That's the funny part. So I was getting MAIL to my house. That was from the previous owners. Then an MALE showed up at my door with what I thought would have been an unwanted package. Turns out that it was kind of nice, Mary. Said package was courteous of Nick from Sandpiper Vacations. He brought me...
Courtesy, not courteous.
Courtesy.
Listen to me.
No, he was very courteous, Scott.
Something you wouldn't know about, okay, Scott?
He put a bow on his package. He wrapped up his package for me. He wrapped it up for me. Scott, it was like the most neat, cleanly wrapped package I've ever seen in my life.
If you're looking for a cleanly wrapped package,
I didn't even know a package could be this clean and tightly wrapped as Nick from Sandpipers. And I said, Nick, what did I do to you to deserve this package from you? This is the first time I'm meeting you. This is the equivalent to getting a package from a stranger. And that's just who Nick is. That's just the type of guy that he is. He will show up at your doorstep and deliver you the best package, whether it be his package or whether it be a package deal for a cruise. And if you want the best package deal for your next vacation, you can reach out to Nick at sandpipervacations.com, where he will give you his best package possible. I'll tell you what, I tore my Achilles tendon, and he's making it possible for me to go to Alaska. He's giving me the best package to go there. And then he's also giving me a really good deal on my vacation. So if you want to book a great vacation, again, I say this all the time, but if you want to save money, reach out to Nick from Sandpiper Vacations. He's going to get you the best deal possible. He's going to give you all the information you need. If you've never been on a cruise before and you're interested, reach out to him because he has all the information that you might need to go on your dream vacation. Cruises are awesome. Nick is the best person to book a cruise from. sandpipervacations.com. Tell him that No New Friends podcast sent you. Anyway, it's really weird segueing something like that to this week on a Disney podcast.
You made it like that.
I
You made
did.
it like that.
I did.
All I wanted you to do is say, what's next on Diz Hiz is brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. That's it. You took it to this whole weird place.
It's not weird. It's genuine.
It's not weird.
It's not weird.
I
It's
enjoy
real.
it.
It's real. I do want to, for the record, none of the stuff I ever said is exaggerated by any means. Like all this stuff actually happens. none of this is false. This week on Diz Hiz, we talk about Ursula, who actually was inspired by a drag queen. Yeah, really
I can see that.
Yeah, really cool. An actual drag queen, which we talk about. Alex has a really good history of Ursula. This is our third and final installment in our summertime villain series, so you're going to want to check that out. Ursula's a great one.
Like a page out of Ursula's book. Like, don't underestimate the importance of body language, right?
Clip that, please. Someone clip that, please. Please.
I'm just saying. Like,
yeah, it's a fun one. A lot of stuff that I didn't know because I've never done, believe it or not, until this week I've never done history on Ursula the Sea Witch, Scott. So I learned a lot this week too.
Huh. Very nice. Well, you can connect with Diz Hiz Pod on all social media. And we've got some other great podcasts to tell you about. Of course, there's ours, After Dark, which comes on every Wednesday night, where sometimes we're serious, sometimes we're even funnier. Last week was a hoot. Let me tell you, yes, that went off the rails real fast when I told everybody what I wish, if I had one wish, what it would be. And you'll have to listen to that episode because it's a good one. Then we've got some other great podcasts to tell you. We've got the Black Lincoln Collective podcast. That's the Sophisticated Gentleman's favorite podcast. And he loves it. In fact, he called me yesterday and said, this is amazing. I can't wait to have these guys on later this month. We've got Don't Wreck Yourself, where every time I go to Hollywood Studios, because he did that one episode about did Indiana Jones get killed by the ball? So I send him a video every single time. So showing him, look, TikTok is full of crap. It's the same thing. Every Indy's fine. And then we also have Ashes to Awesome, where Chuck LaFlange brings us on a journey from his rise from addiction and into recovery. A mental health moment. Where are we at with that?
This is becoming a bit.
Look at me right now. Like, what? Like, do I even look like I can tell you?
Before she goes.
I need a mental health hour at this point, sir. I need a full involuntary. Give me a BA52. Somebody help me out. I need more than that. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Chris, do you have any fantastic podcasts to tell us about?
Yeah, well, first of all, Ashes to Awesome, their production value has gone way up in the last couple of weeks. He's putting out these amazing,
oh my God, yeah.
He's putting out these awesome videos. Like I've been just watching 3 or 4 times in a row on Facebook. So shout out to you, Chuck. I do have a few recommendations. One is Dane from Big Beautiful Diz, which is a YouTube channel who gives you history. And recently he's been giving a lot of awesome opinions. His latest video is about who has the best burger on Disney property. So if you're interested in his opinion, check out that. Do think you did a little cop out there. You did include a buffalo burger on that list, Dane. So
Bison Burger over at
Bison Buffalo, Whispering Canyon. Right?
Whispering Canyon, yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I ate there with Joe and Dane.
There you go. So yeah, check out that video. It was an awesome video. I also have Studio 21, the baseball podcast. That's Big Country and Sea Money breaking down and threatening baseball teams on a weekly basis. Really fun one. And they just have a really great insight into the MLB and minor leagues too, and farm systems and all that. The farm system Scott has a lot of knowledge on. We cannot make a podcast about because that would be incriminating. So then we have that was a race. That was like a slavery joke, Scott. You should probably cut that. So lastly, we have the Podfather himself, our Lord and Savior Remy from Remy's Roundtable. Just getting better and better every week. I did not get to tune into the live stream this week, which I'm really excited about because I get to listen to that for the first time when it releases this week when we have our very own Scott from the No New Friends podcast on. to administer a punishment potentially.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to tune into Remy's Roundtable to hear Scott on there. And lots of more fun stuff to come on that show for sure.
Sarah, what's coming up on Nerd Archive?
They've got more Secret Invasion, and they have some spicy stuff going on in court between Microsoft and Sony. So that's very interesting. Tune in for that.
Interesting. That's right. Today is the finale of Secret Invasion. I haven't watched it yet.
Yes, I haven't watched it either.
Very excited
all right.
for it to end.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good show. It was not a very good show. You can connect with all of us, all of our social medias right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, you can join our clubhouse for as low as $2 a month and watch us as we record all of these things live. Check out our sweet merch and so much more. On behalf of the Sophisticated Gentleman, Game Master Ryan, our producer Alex, Sarah, Chris, Mary, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.